You know, folks, when you're pushing 97, people stop asking why you never married. They just assume, oh, he was too set in his ways, or the right one never came along, or my favorite, he must have been heartbroken once. I let them think that for decades. Easier that way. My name's Elias Hawthorne, born 1929, right here in rural Montana. Same ranch house I sit in now, looking out at the same Bitterroot Mountains that haven't changed much since Eisenhower was president. Never left this valley for more than a week at a time. Never needed to. Never wanted to. Folks around here call me the quiet one, or old Eli, who fixes everything. Barn doors, tractors, fences, broken hearts, doesn't matter. If something's busted, they bring it to me. Always have. I charge next to nothing. Sometimes just a cup of coffee and a story. But there's one story I never told. Not to my sister before she passed. Not to the nieces who check on me every Sunday. Not even to the priest who came when I had that scare with my heart in '09. Until today. I guess at 97, you run out of reasons to keep secrets. Or maybe the secret just gets too heavy to carry alone anymore. It started in 1948. I was 19, fresh out of high school. But the war had ended 3 years earlier, and the world felt restless. My best friend since we were knee-high, Tommy Callahan, enlisted right after Pearl Harbor. Made it through Normandy, the Bulge, all of it. Came home in '46 with medals, a limp, and nightmares that never quite left. Tommy and I used to sit on this very porch, sharing a bottle of bootleg whiskey his uncle made. One night in late '48, he looked at me, really looked, and said, "Eli, if anything happens to me, promise you'll look after her, after Maggie." Maggie was his little sister, 8 years younger, 16 that summer, bright as a new penny, hair the color of ripe wheat, eyes that could make a man forget his own name. Tommy knew I loved her, had since she was 12, and used to tag along when we fished the creek. Never said it out loud, didn't have to. Tommy was sick. The doctors called it delayed complications from shrapnel they couldn't get all out. Lungs failing slow. He knew he wouldn't see 25, so he made me swear on his mother's Bible, right here on this porch, "Promise me, Eli, no matter what, you'll marry Maggie, give her a good life, kids, a home. Don't let her end up alone like Ma did after Pa died young. Promise you'll protect her, always." I promised. Tommy died 3 months later, quiet, in his sleep, 23 years old. Maggie was devastated. We all were. But she was strong, stronger than any of us. She finished school, got a job at the library in town, started helping her mom run the boarding house. I kept my distance at first, grieving, guilty, but the promise burned in me like a coal. By 1951, she was 19. Beautiful. Men noticed. A young rancher from Missoula came calling. Nice fella. Good land. She smiled polite, but I saw the flicker in her eyes when she looked at me. One evening she found me mending fence up on the north pasture. She rode up on her mare, hair loose, cheeks flushed from the ride. "Eli," she said, "Tommy asked you to look after me, didn't he?" I froze, hammer mid-swing. She smiled sad. "He told me before he passed, said you'd promised." I set the hammer down, looked at the mountains. I did. "Then why haven't you asked me to marry you?" I swallowed hard. Because a promise made in grief isn't the same as love asked freely. I won't trap you, Maggie. If you want that Missoula boy, go. Be happy. She stared at me a long minute. Then she laughed, soft, like wind through pines. "Eli Hawthorne, you stubborn fool. I've loved you since I was 14. The promise was Tommy's way of giving us permission, not a chain. We married that fall. Small ceremony, just family. Her in her mother's dress, me in my best shirt, still smelling of fence post. But here's where the story twists. We never had children. Not because we couldn't, because we chose not to. Maggie got pregnant once, early 53. We were over the moon, but she lost the baby at 4 months. Doctors said her body couldn't carry again. Something from a childhood fever. Rare. Final. We cried together. Then we decided, if we couldn't build our own family the usual way, we'd build something else. Tommy had always talked about the boys who didn't come home, the ones from our town, the ones from nearby ranches, orphans of war in their own way, fathers gone, mothers struggling. So we started taking them in, not official, no paperwork at first, just boys who needed a place, a meal, a man's hand on their shoulder, a woman's kindness. First was Billy, 14, father killed in Korea. Then Jimmy, then the twins whose ma drank herself to death. Word spread quiet. The Hawthornes have room and heart. Over the years, 47 boys. Some stayed months, some years. Some never left the valley, but came back every Christmas like clockwork. We taught them to ride, to fix engines, to read the stars, to treat a woman right, to keep promises. Maggie called it Tommy's Ranch. I called it ours. We never told anyone the full truth, not the why. People thought we were just good folks, childless couple with open doors. That was enough. Maggie passed in 2012, 80, peaceful, in our bed, holding my hand. She whispered, "We kept it, Eli, every day." After she was gone, the boys, men now, started coming back more. Grandkids in tow, great-grandkids. They built me a ramp for the porch, fixed the roof without asking, sat with me on the same swing Tommy and I used. Last month, my heart gave a warning again. Doctors say I might not see another winter, so I called them all. 47 men, ages 60 to 85 now. Some drove from California, Alaska, Texas, filled this old house like it was Thanksgiving. I told them the promise, Tommy, Maggie, the vow I kept by never saying no to a boy who needed a father figure. They cried, laughed, hugged me like I was still 19. One of them, Billy, The first said, "Eli, you didn't just keep a promise. You built a whole damn family tree. We're all branches of it." I looked around that room. Sons, grandsons, greats, faces I helped shape, lives I helped save. Never married? No, I did marry. To a promise. To a woman who understood. To a life bigger than one roof, one bed, one bloodline. I never failed Tommy, not once. And in the end, I never failed myself. So if you're watching this, young or old, and life hands you a promise that feels too big, keep it, even if it means walking a different road, even if it means never looking like everyone else. Because sometimes the most spectacular life isn't the one everyone sees. It's the one you live in silence, day after day, until the mountains themselves know your name. If you're still here with me at the end, thank you, truly. These old bones don't have many stories left, but sharing this one, finally, feels like laying down a heavy load after 78 years of carrying it. If Eli's promise, or Maggie's quiet strength, or the way one kept vow can ripple out and touch even one person watching, then it was worth every silent year. So if this moved you, if it made you think about the promises you've made, the ones you've kept, or the ones you still need to make, do me a favor, hit that like button. It tells YouTube this kind of story matters, and it helps more folks find it when they're having a hard night or needing a reminder that quiet lives can be the most epic ones. And if you want more tales like this from people who've walked long roads and still have a little light left, subscribe and turn on the bell. Learn from My Mistakes channel will keep bringing you real stories, the kind that sit with you after the screen goes dark. Thank you for spending this time with an old man from Montana. Keep your promises, love the people in front of you, and never be afraid to let your life be bigger than it looks. I'll see you in the next one.